Hello and welcome to my stream. My name is holdmykidney and I'm doing a run on Invisible Ink Expert Ironman. This is the second session. We're going to pick up from where we left off.
Pattern analysis inconclusive.
Okay, so we're left in a situation here where we've picked up an extra agent, very handy. Don't have any equipment for them at the moment, and what we do have is we have the option of a cybernetics lab.
Trade selling augments.
This is probably a useful mission to go for at this stage, because we've got a couple of agents with empty augment slots. As I say, we're short on equipment for banks, and we've got plenty of money as well. I'm just going to take a look at the timing of it, because at the moment we can hit these terminals. There's one here within 6 hours. That'd take us down to 47, so that's definitely going to trigger day 2. So I think I'm going to bypass these. We'll head straight for the cybernetics lab. It's a 12-hour flight, so by the time we've finished that mission we'll be into day 2. I don't want to hit the executive terminals first, because then this difficulty will become difficulty 2, and it's always worth keeping the difficulty as low as possible for as long as possible. So let's just see what we can do in terms of equipment. I think I'm just going to redistribute Dr. Zoo's neural disruptor to Banks. He can knock out enemies with his modified shock trap, so he's got at least something he can use, so that just gives her the means to defend herself. Some upgrades. I'm going to pop up Dr. Zoo's Anarchy. I always like to have characters who can pick pockets. It's very unhelpful when you've got a guard there and they're ripe for robbing, but the only way you can actually get their kit is to knock them out. I don't want to have to do that, so I'm going to up the Anarchy. He gains the pickpocket ability, and I think what I'm going to do, just because she's carrying a bit more, I'm going to up Prism's strength to 2, just so that she's not slowed down as easily. And actually, if I've got a bit of spare money, I'm going to up Dr. Zoo's speed. In fact, you know what? Let's just spend this money on upgrading people. No, this is a level 1 mission. We'll leave it for now. It's interesting to note actually that I normally at this point in the game I still only have 2 agents. I think we're quite lucky there with being able to free one from a prison so soon. Normally with 2 people they're normally carrying quite a lot at this stage, so I normally raise their strength quite a lot so that they can carry a bit more without getting slowed down. And actually having a 3rd character on the team, we'll see as we go into this mission, but there's a bit of a risk-reward thing with having extra team members. On the one hand, it's more hands to carry stuff, so you don't get slowed down as much. On the other hand, it can be quite difficult to keep 3 characters out of sight, particularly if they're all travelling together, because they all use each other's hiding places. Let's look at this. And yeah, basically you tend to find that there are certain prime hiding spots in a room. If you're trying to hide 3 people in a room, that's quite difficult. But anyway, that's set up as much as I'm happy to do. So let's go and see what we can get from the cybernetics lab.
Trade selling augments to the public.
Now, what's a pity is that sometimes the augmentation labs have a locked vault door, which leads to some upgrade machines that have even better equipment in them. But we don't have a vault key today, so we will just be going for the basic equipment. Okay, so Banks is quite a useful character because she can unlock red doors innately without a key, so I'm going to be using her up front quite a bit. Okay, we've got a camera in that room on the left, nothing in the room on the right. Let's see what Prism can see. Okay, nothing. Let's keep that door closed. I suppose I may as well just clear off that square. No, there's nothing. Let's bring him down. Okay. Okay, there's our camera. There's actually nothing worth I suppose I may as well hack that camera for the sake of having view on that room for if any guards appear. But for the sake of that power, I'm not going to bother heading in there. Okay, now I would quite like to rob this guard before he goes back out on his patrol. So I'm just going to bring Prism down to this room here. Take a little look. What can he do? If he gets to there, need to manage this a little bit carefully. Okay, let's bring Banks to here. Drop her down onto this hatched square, which will get the guard's attention.
Huh?
So he's now going to come off his patrol and head for that square. Okay, and that's a nice angle for him to walk down, because for some odd reason, to investigate the square, he's going to be facing the wall, which means we'll have our pick of agents to pick his pocket.
Looking around. Guess it was nothing.
Okay, so we're going to head Banks up into this room here with the red door. I'm going to send Prism this way. Ah, that's our way out. Good, it's always handy to know what the way out is before we have to commit ourselves. Send him up there. Oh! And there's a power supply. Again, power supplies, generally always a good reason to hack those. Let's see what he's got. He's got a charge pack, that's always nice. Even if you don't use them, they can be sold. Let's head Banks this way. Right, now hopefully no one's going to walk in through this blue door. That would be embarrassing. That was close. Yeah, I haven't been very cautious there. I need to be a little bit more careful. Okay, so whatever's on the other side of this door, we no longer have to worry about the laser grid. And there is plenty on the other side of this door. So let's just unlock that. Just before I open this door here, I'm going to send Prism up just to sweep the rest of this room. Actually, I might use him. Yeah, that's fine. Just want to make sure no one else was looking at that door. Where's he going? Okay, so he's heading up and out. Let's bring her into here then. Okay. I do like one of the things about using the Parasite hacking tool. I do really like being able to get these cameras down in one turn. Okay, send her up to the next red door. Let's open up all these doors before we use peek for the second time. Let's get a nice clear view of our surroundings. Okay, that's fine. Now, where was he? Did he walk straight or did he walk at an angle? He's going to walk pretty much straight, isn't he? So let's bring Prism down to here. We're going to grab that power and we're going to move her out the way. Now, I'm hoping... Ah, he doesn't quite make it all the way to the safe. That would have been really nice if we could have got there this turn. In that case, let's move him to this door here. What's one of the nice things about having 3 characters, of course.
The cyber lab is up ahead. Let's get some alone time with those grafters.
I was about to say, one of the nice things about having this many characters at a time is, of course, you can check many more rooms and dead ends with 3 characters. It does, of course, exacerbate the problem of having
Additional cameras activated.
too many
Surveillance level increased.
characters going in the wrong direction. So, for example, it would be annoying if you know, you ended up sending banks in the direction where there were no locked doors. But having said that, you know, it's just really useful being able to cover so much ground so quickly. I mean, we're only just on security level 1, and you know, look at how much of the facility we've already unlocked. Okay, so we've got some cameras here to take out. I'm going to unlock this safe. I'm going to unlock. No, I'm not going to unlock the safe. I'll use her. I'll use Prism's Buster chip to unlock that. But let's definitely unlock these two terminals. Find out what's in them as soon as possible. And we're going to want to bring her back. We're not upgrading Prism, of course, on this visit because she doesn't actually have any spare modification slots. Okay. Let's send... Let's just find out what's in these machines for a start. Okay, so agent gains 2 additional action points after breaking any firewall. That's always useful. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. As soon as I come out of here, we're going to have some problems. Oh no, maybe that's for a higher security level. And what does this other one do? This effect triggers after the agent becomes cloaked for any reason. Well, we don't have a cloak at the moment. Gains 6 AP. So yeah, it makes sense to put one of these on each of them. So I'm going to install Chameleon Movement on Dr. Zoo.
Mainframe devices.
Ah, okay, it's now we've got problems. That's
We
fine.
must have triggered something in their telemetry. They're toggling the power onto some of the devices we've taken.
Yeah, and annoyingly it's some of the things that I've literally just unlocked. That's fine. Looks like this grid might be coming back online. That's fine, I can cope with that as well. Let's just get the contents of this safe. Head Prism this way. I'm going to let Prism check out what's in these 2 rooms. I want to get on with getting Banks upgraded. And let's bring him out. It might be worth sending him that way as well, because he's very useful for unlocking... Ah, great. I forgot about that. That's interesting. What happened there? Something went boom. Is it because she was standing on it when it got activated? I'm not sure. Yeah, Dr. Zoo, you know, as previously discussed, very useful for unlocking safes. So, it's always worth sending him into, because we haven't really come across that many safes in this level, and there's actually often quite a lot.
Augment installed.
Bring her back to where she was. That was a nice little visit. So yeah, somewhere in this room, somewhere in this level, there's bound to be a hidden room with, you know, loads of safes. So it makes sense to bring Dr. Zoo this way. I think I'm just going to extract Banks at the earliest possible convenience, to be honest. This is a level 1 facility, so there's only likely to be 2 red doors, which is already unlocked. Plus, of course, she's just gained an extra few action points, so should be a nice quick exit for her. So he's down to 3, down to 4. Let's bring her down then for a peek. Yep, so we've got a safe here. Just the one. Send him in to get the contents of that. Okay, what's going on in this room? Okay, we've got a pretty safe angle of entry here. May as well take the security card. Like I say, I really don't think I'm going to encounter any more doors. But you never know, and seeing as she's got 2 free inventory slots, I'm not too worried about her getting encumbered.
Alarm level
Okay, so oh, of course I forgot to start the camera hacking, which is annoying to say the least. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to use Prism's hollow mesh, which uses 2 power points per turn. But thankfully, because we're on security level 2, my dynamo will be generating 2 power per turn. So I'm not especially worried about activating this. And she can just walk out in front of this guard and in the way of the camera and grab this power without really worrying. Thinking about it, while it's free, because Parasite is on power 0 for this first one, I'm going to start this camera hacking just in case I need to bring Dr. Zoo up to deal with any safes. And he can stand, bizarrely, he can stand right here next to the guard and no one is going to be upset. Let's bring Prism into this room. He's already been searched, so I'm not going to worry too much about picking his pocket. Move her on 1 step. No Malak, of course. I'm making all this effort to get to this corner of the map. Oh, there's another door there. How interesting. There's probably absolutely nothing behind here. Oh no, there's an extra safe. Good. Ah, and this is why this is why it's valuable to bring Dr. Zoo, because yeah, it's gonna take Prism way too long to deal with all of these. So what's the best way to deal with this guard? I think what I'm gonna do, there's still 2 turns before this camera's gonna be out of commission. So I'm going to put Prism there. On her next turn, this Buster Chip's going to unlock, which will give Dr. Zoo a chance to move. In which case, I want to distract this guard. So if I move him to there, the guard is now upset and he's going to walk that way. So let's put him back here, and let's see if this little dance works out in my favour. Right. Let's just check what's behind this door. That is the worst possible outcome. Okay. What that means, and this is where I'm glad that I gave Banks the neural disruptor, because really the best way out of this is to take this guard out for the time being. Which slightly changes the dynamic of this level now, because I'm going to have to sit on that guard now until the other 2 characters are ready to extract.
Investigating area. Nothing.
Because I do not want him to be, you know, patrolling this level when my guys are trying to get their way out. Okay, so that's the camera down. Now this guard's going to return to a stationary position, so I'm going to risk... Ah, that's a nightmare. Okay. Again, I'm going to have to try and get his attention, so let's deactivate the disguise. Let's get this guard's attention. And we'll head Prism into this room out of the way. And what that means now is that Dr. Zoo can start to make his way through this level. Still, it's a very long room without much cover. This is one of those instances where you feel that you really want the that holographic cover device that you can get. It is quite a long room to have to travel through. It's a shame that even at running speed, Dr. Zoo can't actually get through this room. Of course, getting out of it is going to be another problem entirely.
Investigating. Must be imagining things.
Okay. Security levels going up all the time, of course. I think the best way to deal with this is actually going to be, I'm going to alert this guard,
Did you hear something?
and I'm going to trap the door, because I don't have any other weapon to take him out, and I really want that guard to be out of my hair. And even though obviously he's now going to be alerted, you know, one of the nice things about that is that he's all the way back here. So that's just a room with some power in, so we didn't need to worry about that too much. So Banks can sit on this guard, and he won't wake up now for the duration of the level. So yeah, if we knock out a guard at this end of the map, the thing that's useful is he will always be behind us while we're heading to the exit. And the guards don't talk to each other, so it's not as though when he wakes up he's going to get on the radio and be warning the other guards to look out for us. I'll set Prism on the guard as well so that he doesn't wake up.
Alarm level 3. Additional guard patrols.
Okay.
Evasion recommended.
Be interesting to see what happens with that new guard, where he's going to head to. Hopefully we're not going to gain a problem for Banks to have to deal with. So I think I'm actually, you know, because I'm aware that I'm streaming this game, I'm actually doing slightly better than I normally do, and I don't know if it's because I'm concentrating or just being careful. Okay, he's not going to wake up for 2 turns, so I'm going to bring Dr. Zoo closer to the exit. Banks can hold tight for the moment. I just want a bit of sight on this room. Actually, I'm going to keep that door closed because I don't want any guards to spot the body that I'm sitting on. Right, so it's all about this new guard coming in. It's encouraging that he's going in that direction. Can we see a point that he's heading to? We can't at the moment, can we? See if we can get eyes on that guard. Well, that's good. That's good. He's heading well out of our way, so for the moment at least we don't need to worry too much about him. Just wondering, is it worth checking what's in this nanofab? Might be worth it. We are short on equipment, so there may well be something that we can pick up that's worth having. I may even risk a run because I think all the guards are quite a long way away.
Oh, what happened?
Okay, that guard's now up and on his feet, so whatever I'm going to do, I need to do it reasonably quickly. Where's he going to go? So he's not going to move for his first turn on his feet. Okay, we can pick up a spare Vault Disruptor. Right, if we come across another augmentation device, this could be really handy. This gives one armor piercing to melee weapons. We don't really have much else here that I particularly think is worth taking, actually. Spare Vault Disruptor might be useful, but again, once you start getting above security level 1, you start getting armoured guards, and actually you really need the armour piercing. So I think I'm not going to bother with that, but I will pick up this. I'm not short on money, and you know, it's always hard to predict in this game what missions you're going to get come up, but actually if we do get the chance to upgrade the agents further, or if we head to another detention facility and free another agent, always useful to have an extra upgrade. Okay, so this guard is still dutifully patrolling this room. I'm starting to feel like I do kind of want to see what's going on with this camera, so I'm just going to hack that.
Investigating area.
I do sort of feel like I've got this level quite under control. But but I would like to see what's going on in that room now, especially seeing as there's a guard spawn point, and whatever that guard has now done, having investigated that square, he's now going to be coming back this way. Let's close that door. Very important in this game to keep doors closed behind you. It's not just a kind of weird sense of neatness, but actually, particularly when you've got raised alert levels. Do you know what? I've got plenty of power. I'm just going to use a hollow disguise. Particularly when you've got raised alert levels, it's really useful not to have gaping open doorways, because as the guards walk past, they sort of end up with this peripheral view of things going on. And the number of times I've needed to cross a room and I've not been able to do it just because there's a beam of red, which is a guard a couple of rooms away, and it's their line of sight. Yeah, it's worth making the effort to keep doors shut as you go travelling. Okay, so now we're in an interesting situation where we're not quite sure what's going to happen with this returning guard. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious. I'm going to bring Banks up to here, and I'm just going to swap this weapon into Dr. Zoo's hands, just in case he has to deal with anything unexpected. In fact, I'm even going to leave him in an ambush state. And I'm just going to walk straight up with her. If by some bizarre occurrence Prism gets revealed, Dr. Zoo can always come up behind the guard and take him out. It looks like...
Additional guard patrols.
Okay, it looks like that previous guard that entered the level is now on a fairly safe patrol in a couple of rooms that we're not really very interested in. So it's looking like we can get to the point now where we can think about actually extracting the team. In fact, if Prison runs, she can make it all the way to the exit lift. So let's do it.
I heard something.
They say augmentation can have side effects that can shorten your lifespan. In this case, I'd say the side effects of not having augments would be far more dangerous.
So yeah, that was a pretty good extraction. As I say, I'm actually, this is quite a nice run. I'm doing a bit better on this than I perhaps often do. So we've managed to upgrade our guys. He's gaining 6 AP if he manages to get cloaked. So we're going to be looking for some sort of upgrade for him, or possibly a handheld cloaking device. And we've managed to upgrade Banks with 2 extra AP every time a firewall gets broken. We've got a charge pack here, not always massively useful. I'm going to put the penetration scanner into storage because we don't have any means of using it at the moment. And again, I'm not sure really whether to take that charge pack with us into the field, but I suppose the guys do have fairly empty pockets. So let's see what missions. We're now into day 2. We've hit the 48-hour mark.
Monster will explain.
Let's see what we get. That is not the best selection of missions that I could have hoped for at this point, unfortunately. We've got a level 2 financial suite. That'll give us a vault key for access either to a bank vault or, within another agent upgrade facility. Sometimes it gives you access to additional upgrade machines. I think it also, sometimes if you go to the security dispatch, I think sometimes there might be a vault door there. I'm not totally sure. We've got another couple of detention centres. I'm inclined to feel at this stage that with an agent roster of 3, I'm not sure how much more an additional agent is really going to add to the team. So I think the best thing to do, we should hit the vault. That'll be 12 hours. That'll keep us within day 2. From there, I might then hit the executive terminals and see if we can unlock another agent upgrade facility. And I think we just need to hope that somewhere along the line we manage to find a nanofab which gives us better equipment. Either that, or maybe, you know, Monster will offer us something that we can buy that's a bit more worthwhile. So let's head to the
Looks like
financial
someone
suite.
is trying to impress his boss by working through the night.
So this level's talking about automated defences. I think at level 2 we'll be looking at probably laser grids and maybe some automated sentries. Right. Oh, I didn't... No, never mind. I had a bit of spare money. I could have upgraded my agents. Never mind. We can manage without. So let's see what's in this direction. We've got our first camera. We've got a secondary server terminal. At this point in the game, it's going to be really useful to have additional software for Incognita to use. Okay, that's good. That guard is not coming into this room. So hopefully we can pick up something from here that will give us a few more options, I guess, in cyberspace. Let's bring Prism up here, grab this power. I think that's a dud room, unless there's a hidden door in this corner. I think that's not going to provide us with anything particularly worthwhile. Wonder if I can run and not get heard by that guard. Let's not risk it. Let's be cautious. We're doing well. We don't want to blow this run. Not in a silly mistake, anyway. Okay, that was unexpected. So there's a guard here that is completely watching this doorway, and that's going to give us no options to open this door on this turn, which is annoying. Yeah, there's nothing in that corner. There is perhaps some trickery I could have employed to bring this guard off his routine, but actually, you know, we know now that that's where he's going to walk to, which means we're going to lose a turn, but we can pick his pocket in a minute. I'm going to drink some more wine, so hopefully this commentary will not become totally incoherent. Okay, so Banks has got 10 action points. That's plenty. In fact, she might even well be able to pick this guard's pocket. Yep, and get back into cover. Let's see what we get. Ping. Now, ping is one of my favourite bits of hacking tools to use. Basically, you can create a noise on a square that will attract all the guards within a particular radius. Really useful, particularly when you've got a lot of guards alerted. If you've got like 4 guards all in a room and you just need them all to be looking a different way for a moment, ping is a really useful way to do it. So let's bring Dr. Zoo in. He also needs to be in cover, so let's bring him to this square. Let's bring him to this square so he can grab the power. And I've actually been quite lucky with this room. I mean, you know, what I was saying previously about how sometimes you can just be, you know, you've got 4 different agents. You can just, you know, 3 different agents. You can just be really short on hiding spaces. Let's just have a little look at that other bit of software. This one lowers the cost of all programs by 2, but adds 1 cooldown to everything. So, yeah, a bit of a risk-reward thing. I'm not going to use it this time. It's interesting that guard only moved 1 square. There's obviously something wrong with his patrol sequence. I'm wondering if he's getting hindered by this other guard. So let's just see exactly what route he takes, because he's going to be a very awkward guard to evade. That's interesting. There isn't really a very good place to hide from him, is there? And which way is he going? It's an interesting problem. I do kind of really need him to be out of the way, so I'm just going to bring Prism up to this square
Hey, what was that?
and distract him. And then what I can do is I can move her over here out the way and activate her disguise. We're okay for power at the moment. I'm not too worried. But what this means is that these guards, you know, they're just going to be out of my way for a while. That's where I really need them to be, is just not here. Let's move her into cover down there. Now again, this guard's going to be slightly awkward to evade, but I think if I put Dr. Zoo in this square, he should be reasonably safe from being spotted. Let's see how it pans out.
Okay, we're checking it out.
Pretty happy with that.
I'm just a little twitchy today.
What it does mean is we need to get these guys out of here as quickly as possible, so there is definitely a guard in this room somewhere. You can generally tell because the cameras don't provide this kind of crossed-hatched view, whereas guards do. That room is nice and clear, so that's going to be a good way out for these guys. I'm going to risk tapping this door. Yeah, there we go. So let's just bring her well out the way. Really, we want Dr. Zoo to go into this room, deal with these two safes. But actually, at the moment, let's hack them in case Prism has to come and deal with it herself. Let's just pick this guy's pocket on the way past. Okie dokie. Let's move her to here, that should be reasonably safe. So he's going to come and have a look round, find nothing.
Guess it was nothing.
Yeah.
Alarm level 1.
Okay.
Cameras activated. Demon installed.
Yeah. That's the demon from hacking that safe. That's fine though. Let's. I'm gonna let Prism deal with these safes because she's got the hollow disguise. I think there's way too much heat in that room to be looking around with anyone that doesn't have a sort of another means of staying hidden. There's actually something quite nice about having a level which so far is so linear. I mean, there's not really many sort of branching paths for getting around, so you know, it's nice because you don't have to feel that you're sort of missing anything when you're exploring. Need to just be aware of power. Prism is, you know, draining 2 power per turn, and there's going to be another 5 rounds before we actually start getting anything back, so just need to be a little bit cautious. She's actually in cover at the moment. We can actually deactivate this disguise, which I think I'm going to do, and it's not going to cause us any problems, and I'm actually going to set that camera to hack. I think there'll be an opportunity once these guys have gone back to their patrol. Prism can maybe get into this room and loot those 2 safes. At least I've got these 2 other agents for making progress, so it's not as though we're stalled. Wow, there's a lot going on in this room. Okay, now these guys here, this is my least favourite unit in the game. The Spec Ops guard has a 180 degree line of sight. They are extremely difficult to evade and get past. Not even totally sure how we're going to get into this room. Now I've got a couple of options in here. We have an automated turret, and we have the power supply that supplies the automated turret. Now, if I want to, I can hack the automated turret, and the turret will kill the Spec Ops guy. Now, that's not without risk. It will alert the security drone that's hovering in there, and it will raise the alarm level by 1. But I think actually, you know, those Spec Ops guys are so problematic. I'm sort of tempted to do it because they really are. You can't hide in cover, because even if they walk past where you're standing, you know, they will see you. So I think I'm gonna take over the turret, or I could use the ping for a moment and see if I can get him to move. Let's see what happens if I open this door.
Did you see that?
Yeah, see, immediately we've got an issue here. Or I could take him out. Let's set these to hacking. Let's just give that a moment. I've got an extra firewall level leeway with this, so it's not going to get out of hand. I'm going to set her to ambush, and I'm going to bring Dr. Zoo round to sit by this doorway, and also provide me with a bit of valuable line of sight. What's going on with Prism? Oh yeah, she's hidden. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. And again, the advantage of having 3 agents in the field means that if I have to sit on this guard for the rest of the level, I'm not actually technically disadvantaged, because I have plenty of agents. I have plenty of agents, and if the worst comes to worst and Banks has to sit on this guard until it's time to leave for the lift, we can do that. Okay. So I'm just interested in where he's going to go. This is a minor problem to deal with. Bring her into cover. We've still got this one guard to deal with, but actually, if I'm patient here, we can use our holo disguise to get in and out. So I'm happy with what's happening there. Oops! I've just realised I forgot to set the hacking going on the power supply, which means we're now going to take control of this turret. So it may well be that we lose control of this situation in a moment. Okay, going to bring her up. Worth noting that robot units can be pickpocketed for their power. It's perhaps not immediately obvious that it's something that can be done, but it is very useful. And I'm just going to get him to pick up this key. Again, we've got Banks who can unlock red doors, but if these two get separated, it's worth having a thing that allows us to get through red doors on his own. This is the critical area here, really. Okay, so that was very close. So the turret went onto Overwatch, but thankfully this droid here didn't move, which is fortunate. So we can take out this drone if we want to. Is that going to be worth doing? I think it might be. So let's just turn the generator back on. So this turret is now watching carefully what's going on. And actually maybe this drone is going to be for the chop. Now, if I walk into there, that's going to leave me with 6 AP. No, okay, we're on security level 2. We're generating power. I'm going to do this with the disguise. Ah, paralyzer. Paralyzer's useful. Okay. So that's those safes cleared out. Let's see what happens here. Interesting, did the turret not fire? It would appear that enemy units are treated the same way as player units, from the point of view that if they move and they get spotted, they then you know, are kind of stuck in their tracks. I'm going to run here. This drone can't hear you run, so I'm going to get to this safe and rob it now while I've got the chance. I'm going to stick her back on top of this body so it doesn't wake up. It'll be very interesting to see what happens next. Okay, Prism's a little bit stuck here and can't get out just now, but that's fine. Be patient. Of course, any unit that we kill raises the alarm level. There it goes. So that will have raised the security level by an additional 1, and it costs us money. At the end of the round, we seem to have to pay a certain amount of money for the euphemistically entitled cleanup. I'm just going to bring this body with us. I spend half of this game dragging bodies around. So once Prism is out of sight, we can lose the holographic disguise. And of course she's carrying the paralyzer, which means that when Prism catches up with this body, we're going to be able to knock him out for a few more rounds. Ah. Okay. We're going to need the disguise again here, because I don't want to wait for this guard to leave. I want to press on. So I can open and close those without worrying about alerting him. And we can see what's in the rest of this facility. Okay, so this is going to be where the guy we're looking for is based. This is an executive office. He must be the other side of this screen somewhere. So yeah, he's standing somewhere in this black spot, which is fine. We're going to need Banks's neural disruptor in order to take him out, so we'll just bring all this with us. And this is particularly, you know, this is a level perhaps more than any other where you need to worry about how long guards are knocked out for the simple reason that, you know, we're gonna, when we take out this executive, we're basically going to have to sit on his body for about 5 rounds before we even complete the objective. So any guards that you've knocked out in that time are going to have woken up, and it is not always easy to be able to stay in one place for such a long time. Interesting.
The executive has been located. Disable him and get his cerebral implant ready for the interrogation. We're digging into his cerebral implant now, but it'll take a few minutes. Stay close to the target so I can keep the scan running.
Okay, so we basically have to sit on this body for 6 additional rounds from now. Let's just lose that pass card, we're not going to need it. you know, and as I say, this guard here now he's got 2 rounds left on his knockout timer, so he would ordinarily, you know, wake up well within the range of us, you know, being able to complete this level. So well, let's just keep sitting on him, and of course we have the paralyzer dose here, which I can use, and that'll raise his knockout timer to 4. Very useful item, not, you know, really not to be underestimated. So having played these executive terminals levels before, one of the things that the guy that we're sort of hacking, one of the things that he will do is he will create an alert point on his current location, which means you need to bear in mind that we need to sit on this body, but we also need to drag the body to somewhere that we can stay fairly mobile. Actually, this room's quite a nice layout because we can get within sight of these screens, and if we have to double back around any furniture, you know, if a guard comes into this room, you know, we have that option, so it's quite flexible. Just going to bring Banks in just to keep an eye on what's going on. Again, carrying this body around with us. I don't want to let him wake up until the last possible moment. So we've gained a guard on patrol.
Defense training. This is going to be trickier than expected.
This is not a guard that's been called by the executive. This is just the level 3 additional patrol. So let's see where he's planning on heading. He's going to walk to there, so Banks is fine. I'm not always sure what their line of sight for bodies is, but just in case, I'm going to pull this body around the back of this screen. And hopefully this guard here should fall into a fairly sort of regular pattern. The problem will be that when this executive creates this alert point on his position, this guard is obviously going to be the closest one to investigate, so we're not going to have a lot of time to respond.
Damn it, he got his signal out. Expect more company soon.
Okay, so it's this new guard here that's been basically been called to our location. So he's now heading that way. We've got a guard closing on us here. I'm just going to bring the executive back to here a moment. Ah, that's good. We can get in behind this couch with this body here, so she's well out of the way. I think that's because she's got the additional strength, which means she's slightly better at dragging bodies a little bit further. And with a bit of luck, yeah, we should be able to keep well out of sight.
Incognita is in. We've broken him down now. Almost there, operator.
It's almost slightly disappointing that I haven't managed to swap the neural disruptor back to he's going that way. Back to Banks, because she could now take out this new enforcer when he comes in, assuming he's not armoured. We can't see that yet. Okay, so she's going to need somewhere to escape to in a moment. Let's just check out this room. So he is right behind the door. Damn, he's coming in and he's turning. There's nothing I can do to stop her from being spotted. What can I do? Well, the good news is she's pretty near the exit. That's a bad bit of luck. Okay, this is where ping comes in handy. So what we can do is we want to just catch him within our radius. Now he might not respond because he's been programmed to head to that alert point, but with a bit of luck we can just get him to change. There we go. We've now managed to change the direction that he's going to be hunting, so let's bring Banks out the way, well out the way of his scan. Now I meant to check, he's not special ops, is he? No, he's an enforcer, that's alright then. And this also gives us a bit of a chance to move some of these bodies around. Okay, let's see what happens. I had completely forgotten that that turret was still activated. I should probably turn that off.
Additional guard controls.
Because of course every time that turret kills a body, not only is it costing us money, but it's going to keep raising the alert level, which is really not something we want to be happening at the moment.
The data is starting to come in now. Just a little longer.
Okay, one more turn. Which guard was that? I don't think we ever robbed him, did we? So let's just see. No, he's got nothing useful on him. Now, what's this guy going to be doing? Right. He's going to be... that's 5, 6, right. Do I want to keep him distracted? No, I want to bring him up this other end of the room. Because once he's up the other end of the room, we can get past him, which is the thing that we kind of most need. Okay, so... wondering if I should turn that turret off.
What was that?
Okay,
What was
so
that?
he's got a new alert point to investigate now. Of course we've got two guards to deal with.
I've ejected a mem chip from his port. Grab it and get the hell out of there.
Right, so this is the vault key that we came for. I kind of want somebody else to pick that up, to be completely honest with you. So let's try moving to here, which is in sight,
Investigating.
and then moving to there, and that should give us... of course he's using his scanner. So... there's the vault card. Interesting. We're going to need to use her hollow disguise, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap some equipment with Dr. Zoo. I'm going to give him the paralyzer. And I'm going to take the neural disruptor, and hopefully we can get the drop on these guys. Thankfully Dr. Z's carrying a med gel, so if he gets knocked out, at least we can get him back up. Okay. Let's bring her around to here. These are the kinds of really challenging rooms that are so satisfying in this game, when you actually manage to get your guys out without any of them being taken out. You know, it's hugely satisfying. Sometimes you look at this scenario and you think, I just don't know how I'm going to be able to get out of here without being spotted. But somehow, you know, you do it, and it's hugely, hugely satisfying. I'm going to take this one out, because his remote scanner that he throws is just such a powerful and difficult to evade piece of equipment. Okay, so he's hopefully going to pass most of this by. Let's see if we can't get Banks to secure our exit. Right, let's use her ability to unlock this door. There's actually quite a lot of facility still left to uncover, so it is not by any means cut and dried. Plus we've got a guard spawning point here, and 2 more rounds we're going to be getting more company, so this is not as easy perhaps as it could be.
Hey, you okay?
Okay, let's change matters. We're getting a new guard now. Ah, thankfully he's spawned at the very other end of the level.
Hey, investigating.
But the game has given away one of our agent locations, so he's going to run. And hopefully be in a position
What
to...
was that? Investigating.
This is another good opportunity to use ping, because we can now get him to look in completely the wrong direction. Right. I'm using run a lot now because I want to really clear some of these locations. There's an awful lot of ground it feels like still to cover. But again, this is, the huge advantage of having so many agents in play. And there's the exit. So I do feel a lot better now that I know what where the eventual way out is. Does make you wonder what's behind this door over here. I have to resist the urge to be greedy in this game. Ah, still forgot to turn the turret off. Never mind. They're going to be busy killing their own. Let's turn it off so they're not upset. They may still go for it, but that's nothing I can do about that. Okay, we're going to trap this door to give anyone a surprise that tries to follow us. I'm just going to take a look at what's behind this door here. Yeah, there's something nice there. So maybe we'll take a chance on this room. We do have a very, very small amount of time in hand. Because of things like the number of bodies that are down. We're going to be, the guards are going to be tripping over each other for alerts. Let's hack this nanofab as well, just in case it contains anything worth having. Might as well grab the power while we're here. Right, exit is clear. So I'm just going to disguise Prism, send her in to hack this camera by hand, because that's quicker. Let's let him run, maybe. Yeah. Slight risk, but I think one well worth taking at this stage. Okay. Let's leave her there for the moment. She's well within range of the exit lift, so... So we don't have any unwanted company just yet. Let's let Prism run that way. And let Dr. Zoo run to here. He's at least out of cover if anyone unwanted comes through that doorway.
Warning.
And we've got sight of that door, so I think really there's nothing that can go wrong at this stage. As my famous last words. Nothing can go wrong at this stage. So that's a useful little shock trap. Interesting. Is it worth it? I'm going to end up regretting this. Let's okay. Let's do the sensible thing. We're going to extract Banks, or at least put Banks in a position where she can be extracted, and we'll send Prism to look at the nanofab because she at least has her hollow disguise, and this is exactly worth coming for. Wow, there's some nice stuff in here. Okay. Kills do not increase the alarm tracker. That's potentially going to be quite useful. Let's go for it. Let's buy it. And I'm going to buy the Volt Disruptor 3. It's not the most economical because it uses power when you need it, but it does do armor piercing too, which actually, you know, if we manage to install an augment on one of the characters that gives them armor piercing +1 with melee weapons, they're actually going to be well on their way to taking out guards with sort of level 3 armor. Let's activate her disguise just in case she gets spotted. And take Dr. Zoo into the lift as well, so we are so close to getting out of here.
Investigating area.
Alarm level 6. Enforcers deployed.
Okay.
They will be your death.
Oh, and there is a yeah. So a guard has spawned right on a location, and the game is now about to create markers on where my people are. So this is really a very good time to be standing in the lift ready to go. And we are out. Very
Excellent.
successful.
Now we need to find a place to use that card.
Always nice having a vault card in hand. Need to remember to carry it. The number of times I've had a vault card and actually forgotten to take it with me on a mission that needs it. We can see that was a very good level in terms of picking up equipment, and you know, we picked up the ping server software, and now Monsters making us an offer.
Something you might be interested in. I need a quick decision. This thing's hot.
Okay, armor piercing 1, lethal damage. Could be useful if we're combining it with the augment that doesn't advance the alarm tracker when agents are killed. But you know, it's one shot and then it needs a charge pack to reload. Plus, we've only got 1165 credits in hand, and I'd really like to give my agents some upgrades. So I think I'm not going to go for that just now. Let's put the augment we picked into storage because we're not going to need it. Let's give Dr. Zoo his neural disruptor back. He's holding the paralyzer. She's got the vault. Let's give the Vault Disruptor 3 to Banks. Oh, I've created a situation where I'm carrying too much stuff. Okay, let's sell the med gel. Med gels are useful. As I said previously,
You just made my day.
I'm inclined to leave the med gel to be procured on site for people that need it. So I'm going to give Banks the Vault the Neural Disruptor 3. She needs to be carrying the Buster chip, and I'm also going to get her to carry the Vault key. Okay, so looking at this, Dr. Zoo needs an extra strength. Now, what would be handy? Remind myself of the missions. So I've got a level 2 executive terminal. That's not a big item carrying mission.
I'm taking a big risk selling to you right now, so don't make me
Yeah.
regret it.
I think I'm going to keep this money in hand just in case, again, we come across anything in mission that's worth spending the money on. I think, you know, if these missions are still at difficulty level 2, I think we can manage with the loadout that we've got. But I'm going to call that a night. If you've been watching this, thanks very much for joining me, and I hope you'll follow me for the rest of this series. Thank you very much.